Are we on?
We're on.
Joe Lopez, Grupo Más, no hay mal que dure 100 años. How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Tetera Tuesday. Very special tonight because we have 3 generations in the studio, and it's an amazing family and an amazing and legendary artist that's here with us with plenty of stories and lots of great times and lots of successes. And I tell you, it's all brought to you by the law office of Carlos C. Garcia. If you're injured in a serious accident, arrested on serious charges, you need an attorney that'll fight for you in court because serious cases require a serious lawyer. So you got to call him at 956-584-1448, 956-584-1448, 24 hours a day, 24 horas al día, 7 días a la semana, 7 days a week, 365 días al año. That's 365 days a year. He's around all the time. Anytime you need him, you give him a call. And you can visit his website at thegarciafirm.com. He is board certified in criminal law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Y esos abogados que tienen eso están contados en una mano, papá. Y Carlos Garcia, he's one of them. The law office of Carlos A. Garcia. Asústame one time. Eso.
That was cool.
Wow. Oye, si es Carlos, es bueno.
Es Carlos Guzmán. Hey, Carlos Guzmán, ladies and gentlemen. Arrima el micrófono. Get close to the mic when you talk because I want to be able to hear every single word you say tonight, Carlos. And I want to welcome you for the very first time to hashtag PVT Papa. Asústame one time.
Thank you very much, hijo eso. Te aventaste con la introducción del patrocinio.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, man.
Y todo no está escrito. Todo es improvised, right?
Sí, es improvised.
Cheat notes.
Todo está improvised, carnal.
Cliff notes.
Hey, pero puede estar escrito, pero no todos lo pueden decir igual. No todos. Tiene que haber un dinámico para eso, ¿verdad?
Como tú.
Ándale, eso. Por eso andamos así, Carlos, como dices tú que andamos, carnal, yo y George, tu chavalo. ¿Verdad? A ver, ponle la cámara, Carlos. ¿Cómo? Carlos was making fun of us.
He was.
No.
You were.
He usually does, though. He usually does.
We got George here. George Guzman, ladies and gentlemen. Clip of G. One of the sharpest barbers in the state of Texas, I would say, man.
There you go.
And we've got his son, Devin Lyric, here with us as well.
Yeah. Hey everybody, how y'all doing?
How you doing, man? How do you do it to survive around these two guys, man?
Taking care of them every single day.
Yeah. Which one demands more? Carlos or George?
That one over there.
George, ya te quemaron, carnal.
Hey man, I gotta get him right. I gotta prep him the right way, you know.
Yeah, there you go. So how you been, Carlos?
I am good. There's a story behind why I say I'm good, okay? Because I don't think you know, but I suffered a stroke.
I was going to ask you about that.
2 Easters ago, and I went through an ordeal, man.
What exactly happened at that moment that you had the stroke? I mean, what were you doing? Where were you at? Do you remember any of it?
I'm going to be very specific. Me levanté a orinar al baño.
En la mañana, como las 3 de la mañana?
Así.
No, actually, it was that. I do remember. It was actually at 12 midnight.
Okay.
And I was barbecuing.
At that hour.
At that hour, pretty much, you know.
Yo digo las 3 de la mañana because it's basically la hora que los levantamos cada día. No, los viejones, ¿entiendes? Ya se levantan a ir a exprimir la vejiga, como dice uno, ¿verdad?
Anyway, noté algo raro, que el balance no estaba ahí. Y después me preocupó un poco y lo hice a un lado como que era nada, ¿verdad? Entonces resulta de que el siguiente día él y mi esposa Melva notaron que something was different.
Okay.
And right away they called 911 y a la ambulancia y todo ese el otro.
Definitely.
Fue una serie de cosas que hicieron, de los exámenes y así el otro. La primera ocasión fui a un hospital que nomás fue un
check-up o algo así.
Un TI, o ¿cómo se llama?
Un CAT scan.
No, fue una cosa que según muy muy ligera.
Ajá.
Entonces, tenemos un sobrino que es cirujano en El Paso.
Sí.
Se llama Alex. Y,
Saludos para Alex en El Paso.
yeah,
As a matter of fact, Alex took care of a lot of the people that was in that mass shooting at the Walmart in El Paso.
Wow.
yeah,
He's a
yeah.
trauma surgeon.
So what happened with him?
Le hablaron a él que le explicaron lo que sucedió conmigo y dijo, no, I'm not satisfied. Take him to the other hospital. And también en ER y que lo chequen de nuevo, que tomen otro MRI y a ver qué pasa, you know. It's got to be more to this, you know. So sure enough, I went there. Turns out that el técnico que estaba tomando el MRI me reconoció y mi nombre verdadero es Margarito.
Sí.
Y todos los archivos que estaban haciendo para el hospital era Margarito, right?
Sí.
Pero el técnico como que me estaba viendo así, medio con curiosidad, y me dice, aren't you Carlos Guzmán? Digo, yes, I am, but here I am Margarito. Oh, wow, my uncle was Arturo Montes, and he,
Que en paz descanse.
yeah, he talked real highly about you, blah, blah, blah. So I empezó esa confianza y le dije yo, by the way, ahorita que termines el examen, es el tubo que te meten allí para el examen, me puedo decir off the record si vistes algo raro, si es un stroke o no. Dijo, I'm not supposed to, pero lo voy a hacer.
Yeah.
So ya pasó ese episodio, salí y dice, ¿qué ves? Mira, este derrame de sangre que tienes aquí, una manchita negra en la imagen, es sangre que brotó dentro del brain, del cerebro.
Yeah.
Y creo que vas a necesitar cirugía, maybe. So, sigue la odisea, el ordeal. Fue un ordeal y medio, porque no podía visitarnos Jorge ni mi esposa.
Because of the COVID
Yeah,
stuff.
because of the
COVID,
COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm all alone en el hospital y abrí la persiana y resulta que la persiana está on la wall de un edificio enseguida. So I saw the wall. I said, what the heck? And then I tried to get up and I couldn't walk. And I said, wow, this is getting bad. Because I wanted to brush my hair. And
Yeah.
brush
Be independent as you always
and,
been.
yeah, and shave, que daba a barbón. And I couldn't reach from the distance del brush y el pelo. I couldn't figure it out.
Uh-huh.
Y tampoco la navaja para rasurarme, I couldn't figure out how far my skin was.
Wow.
So I started worrying about
I
all
would
this.
imagine.
Yeah, so it was an ordeal, pero gracias a mi hijo Jorge, Devin y mi esposa, que me estaban picando las costillas, you gotta go to therapy, y y el otro, y empecé a renegar, y como todo viejito, dije yo. No te rías, Toco.
No, yo no me estoy riendo. I mean, hey,
Porque-
I don't consider you guys old. You guys never get old to me, bro. I mean, to me, you're the same since I first met you.
Yeah, this is...
And that's what you do. It's like you and Freddie and a lot of the legendary artists. You guys never age, bro.
Thank God
I
for
mean,
that.
and you guys are still going at it and still recording. Now, when you had the stroke happen, and how long were you in the hospital that time?
4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 days?
Yeah, nada más.
And there
yeah.
was absolutely no physical contact or
nothing.
person-to-person contact with anybody. You were in there in isolation by yourself, going through a medical issue. What was going through your mind?
A lot of things. First of all, what am I going to do? I record for a living. I sing for a living. ¿Qué voy a hacer?
And that's your joy.
Sí, es el gozo de la vida.
Ajá.
Entonces, cuando empieza a pasar esto por la mente, tengo que platicarte esto porque para mí es importante. Porque me visitaban gentes, los doctores que están from other countries que ni les entendía el inglés y el español que trataban de decir cosas. Hasta que un día me vine a visitar un muchacho joven y me le quedo viendo y así with the impairment que tenía del speech. Le digo, ¿y tú qué vienes a hacer? ¿A limpiar el cuarto o qué? Dijo, no, I'm one of your doctors, I'm a surgeon. Y era un muchacho joven, que no me acuerdo el nombre, pero era cirujano, chavalos, 32 años de edad.
Wow.
Y le digo, wow, can I ask a favor from you? Dijo, yeah, dime. Y tenía yo mi teléfono y le enseñé un video de YouTube. Y coincidentally, esa era una música que grabé de música cristiana. El título de la canción se llama En las alas de una paloma. Y le enseñé el video. Dice, esta es la persona que yo soy. Y estoy preocupado porque aquí estoy tirado sin poder hablar. Y aquí nadie me conoce. Y quiero que si me puedes ayudar en algo. Y escuchó la canción en su totalidad. Y aunque tú no lo creas, se hincó en la carpeta. Estaba llorando el doctor y me hizo llorar a mí. Dije, wow. He was touched with the song. And then he realized it was Carlos Guzman in the video, not Margarito. He went and told the whole staffers ahí en el Flores and showed them the video. Y todo cambió, las atenciones. Desde ese momento en adelante, me daban atención como no tienes idea. ¿Qué me faltaba que no me trajeran? They walked me in the hallways, they talked to me every 10 minutes y llegaba alguien a verme.
You're a legend, dude.
No.
I mean, if something would have happened to you in their hands, it wouldn't have been good.
Yeah,
and,
but
and they had to, and I'm really happy that you were able to tell them that was you, and they were able to take a little extra care for you.
Well, I had to because I felt abandoned, And when I showed on the video, everything changed in El Flores, and I was amazed, and I'm so thankful for that, I wasn't showing off or anything. I just wanted más atención.
Yeah, you wanted to show him that, because you were Margarito on the paperwork, and you're Carlos Guzman in the entertainment world. That started, what year did that start?
What, entertainment?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I mean...
I'm going to say 59.
59?
59, yeah.
Who was big back then when you were coming out? Was it Buddy Holly and Elvis, or what were you listening to as far as Spanish music that was inspiring you to do Spanish music?
Well, mi abuelita era una moza de casa de unas gentes muy ricas y le regalaban, they had una colección de álbums que llegaba un álbum cada mes de artistas grandes, americanos y foreigners. Y me acuerdo que mi abuela traía uno de Frank Sinatra y uno de Perry Como. And I used to love listening to ballads. Y tenía un little record player yo. Me regaló esos dos álbums y los tocaba yo siempre. Y me empecé a meter en la cosa de la balada and the ballads and romantic music.
Crooner stuff.
Yeah. And
that stuff. And there was some, never again singers like that. I mean,
no.
I mean, that era of crooners, with, Frank Sinatra.
Perry Como.
My friend.
Yeah.
I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain.
Yeah, there you go. It's yeah, man. You had Mel Torme. You had so many great singers. Perry Como, Bing Crosby. I'm very nostalgic like that. Dude. I'm way younger than you, of course. I mean, you're a bit older than me, right? But I grew up, even when I was a kid, I was like, I liked that stuff when all the other kids were into Rick James and shit. You know what I mean? But I was always into that nostalgia
I wasn't too
stuff.
much. Hasta que no llegaron los Beatles, then I was hooked to the music de los Beatles.
Yeah.
So other than that, que lo demás que...
What did the Beatles do for you? I mean, like, you were into the crooners, of course. The Beatles, 59. You had just gotten into the entertainment industry as a singer. Was it a solo artist, or did you have a band?
No. Yo empecé, un día me hablaron que habían escuchado. A mí me escucharon cantar en el Armory de McAllen. Estaba Isidro López, que Dios lo tenga en paz, y su orquesta tocando, y andaba afónico, ronco, no podía cantar. Y yo cantaba 2 o 3 canciones de él nomás for fun.
Yeah.
Y andaba yo con unos camaradas, estaba chavalo yo, y uno de ellos se atrevió a decirle a Isidro, hay un chavo que canta tus canciones.
Yeah.
Dice, pues que venga, yo le pago para que cante lo que sepa de mis canciones.
Órale.
And then I went there. I was panicking. But can you imagine never holding a microphone in your life? And then, ¿qué canciones sabes? Pues El Mala Cara y otra, ya no me acuerdo qué otra canción. Pero resulta de que me dio un micrófono. Y aunque no lo creas, the first thing that happened to my life when I grabbed a microphone, it gave me a shock because I was grounded correctly. Me dio shock el micrófono. So I panicked. Porque me lo arrimé el micrófono muy cerca. Y me dio un shock. Y Ciro dice, cálmate, just do the song, you know. So la orquesta se arrancó, and I did the song, 2 songs, and he gave me $20.
Wow.
Wow.
And that's a lot of money back then.
I was working in a gas station making $15 a week.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
And you got $20
For 2 songs.
Wow.
I says,
That's
wow.
why I'm in the wrong business.
Said,
I ain't
wow.
pumping gas no more.
Yeah. So andaba un músico allí de los Continentales, la orquesta de los Continentales, que me escuchó y me dijo, oye, ¿no te interesaría cantar con la banda de nosotros? Se llaman los Continentales. Traemos horns también y trumpet. Y I said, I don't sing, man. I just did it for fun. Pues vamos a un rehearsal, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I went to the rehearsal. I want to try to condense the stories. But they liked it, and I said, te vamos a pagar maybe $10 per gig.
And back then, the bands were like 20 members. They were like Cumbia King style, right? I mean, they had all horn section. They were large bands, right?
Yeah. So I sang for a while with them, and then I got a better job, and I quit. I was an optometrist learning to be the optometria.
Okay.
And I learned pretty fast after working at the gas station. But that's another story que está en el libro. Por cierto, el libro tiene muchas de las etapas de la vida de Carlos Guzmán.
Yeah.
Entonces, para platicar todo ahorita en el micrófono estaría muy extensa la plática. Pero I went escalating from the gas station to an optometrist that taught me the ropes about the optometria, the óptica. I learned fast, and I was going to be certified to be an optician. Then the army came on board. The conflict in Berlin, and I was activated. And I moved on to Fort Polk, Louisiana for training, basic training, blah, blah, blah.
So you were drafted, or
No, I was in the National Guard.
Oh, you were in the National Guard.
But we got activated
Yeah.
to be flown to Berlin.
And what year was this? About 60 something?
1959, 60.
60. Okay.
Yeah. And when I was deployed over there, I didn't want to be a private, so I said,
He wanted to walk like RocknRollJames and George in there, right? Like, how do you say that? Like, babe, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
and Carlos Guzmán was making fun of us, George.
It's because we got some big lats or lats.
We told Carlos, it's just confidence, bro. It's confidence. No, it's not.
son chocantes. Eso.
Hey, come on.
Never fails, man. I'll be walking in HEB or something, and my dad, hey, ¿te parece RocknRollJames?
¿Cómo le Ale anda como si la estás haciendo, Carlos? Right? No. Show the people.
Como que no nos cabe un corcho. Un corcho. What am I talking about? El corcho.
So you walked in there and you were walking saying, I ain't gonna be a private here, ¿verdad? So, ay, ¿qué pasó?
Pues con mucho esfuerzo convencí al teniente que estaba in charge of the battalion que I wanted to go to NCO Academy. No, but you're a high school dropout. You can't go to academy. I said, well, I got to go. And so I convinced him because of other matters that happened in the field. Y me mandó a la academia a Fort Hood, Fort Bliss, y Fort Knox, Kentucky, and I became a non-commissioned officer 3 months later.
All right.
Yeah, I became a sergeant.
And what was your duties there as a sergeant? What were you doing?
I was back. ¿Te acuerdas de la serie de televisión Rat Patrol?
Okay. Yo creía que ibas a decir Gomer Pyle.
No, hombre.
Shazam! No, but I really like the Rat Patrol. I mean, especially I think Christopher George was his name.
I don't
with
know.
the hat. I mean, I used to love that show, man.
I had my own Jeep con a gunner on a machine gun on the back.
Yeah.
Y un driver que era un gringo, y un prieto on the gunner, and me as the leader of the pack.
Wow.
Íbamos reconnaissance para el tank division que iba moviendo.
Man, I want to see those pictures, dude. Right?
I got a picture in there de soldado.
In the book?
Yeah. No, que te mandamos.
Oh, yeah? Oh, we'll check it out.
Yeah.
I think my wife has them there. We'll look for them. And then, so you were a non-commissioned officer. You were running like the Rat Patrol and stuff?
Yeah. Then we're going to be deployed to Berlin. It was cuando Elvis was there. I was watching that picture of the Elvis.
Yeah, nice picture, man.
Yeah.
My dad gave it to me, El Diamante, San Antonio.
Yeah.
Ya me lo regaló. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen it before, the Elvis picture. It's a portrait of him.
He was deployed in Berlin and Germany, actually. And I was looking forward to that so I could possibly see Elvis live in Germany. But no, we were never deployed into the area.
How crazy was that, like, for a star as big as Elvis to have been deployed and taken into the military service? If that would happen to any artist today, they'd probably have a cow and start crying. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like...
It was a band leader, actually a big star. What was the name? Bobby Vinton.
Bobby Vinton.
Okay, he was there in Fort Hood with us. And yo cantaba canciones como ay, canta y no llores para los oficiales.
Sí.
En el officer quarters. Y cantándoles a ellos me zafaba de no ir al field. Porque decía al colonel, que era un surgeon, I got a sore throat. I can't go to the field. No, you could stay in quarters because you're going to sing next Sunday for our lunch. y me quedaba en los quarters y que todos iban al monte y estaba bien conchudo ahí.
You knew how to play the system, man.
Pero Bobby Vinton, Bobby Vinton y los mexicanos que estaban ahí, they had the instruments in the supply room y los mexicanos bien marranos went and got all the instruments every weekend. Y él iba a checar el keyboard o algo así. They were gone. Y se enojó. Where the hell is taking all the instruments every weekend? Some Mexicans guy in
They're jamming too.
Yeah.
Oye, Carlos, and when you were in the military, were there like when you were singing in that what is it, the officers club or something like that?
Yeah.
Were there some good drinking parties there, and you'd have a few drinks with the guys and stuff?
No, I tried to stay away from that because I had to kind of respect the officers and stuff like that. They would send me a drink now and then.
Because I had an uncle, or I have an uncle that was in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And boy, he showed me pictures when we were growing up. That, you know, when they would go to the area when they weren't out in combat, they were partying, man. They had bottles and all that kind of stuff, man. I was like, the military, you learn how to drink with the military,
like outside of the duties.
Yeah, well, outside. Once they got the arrested record, because when you were out in the field, you got to be in all your senses, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So when they'd go to I don't know if you've seen the movie Platoon.
Yes.
Where they're like all partying under and they're
Tubuku.
I mean, I had pictures of my uncle. You know, he was in the Navy. He was in the River Patrol.
Yeah.
And those parties. I mean, I wish I was I could have been there with them. You know, it was him and his compadre Titi. They all ended up being compadres.
Yeah.
And marrying sisters and stuff.
Let me tell you a short story que está en el libro. De Vietnam, de Vietnam, resulta que, la gente te busca y te encuentra. And this guy told me a story que cuando él estaba en Vietnam, I was there with them, con todos los latinos. Dije, no, I was in Vietnam. I was, during the Berlin crisis, I was an E5, but I was never in Vietnam. Dijo, you were there in spirit, and you were por vestida de blanco y ya me voy para la guerra. Tus canciones
great songs.
Estaban con todos los mexicanadas que estaban en Vietnam deployed. Y me acuerdo que un día nos mandaron del area, the conflict, a un resting area with the choppers that dropped us off. And they was playing some music in una turntable chiquita. Y so I had the album Vestida de Blanco with me in my backpack. And I told the guy, can you play a song for the Latinos here? He said, yeah, sure, man. Saqué yo el álbum y se lo di al vato y tocó Vestida de Blanco y ya me voy para la guerra. Y todos los mexicanos que estaban ahí reacted to the sound of those two songs being played. So they all gathered around the guy playing the records. But then all of a sudden, supposedly it was a safe zone, but then mortar fires started coming in.
Holy moly.
Yeah, and they scattered all over the place, and the choppers trying to pick up the soldiers and fly them out of there to another area where it was safe. Y dice el vato, me quedé con el puro cover y se quedó el álbum con el gringo que estaba tocando los discos.
Sí.
Y luego cuando salí del ejército, me vine para acá, para el Valle, porque yo era originario del Valle, y me habló una sobrina de Utah. Dijo, we have a gathering and we haven't seen you since you got back from Nam. So come on over, man. Let's have a blast. We have a cookout and music and stuff like that. Yeah, I'll go over. She took the bus and went to join these family members in Utah or Idaho, one or the other. Y dice, this guy was playing Vestida de Blanco on como un DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Y me arremé porque it was that particular song. Y dije, I remember that song in Vietnam. Y dice el DJ, well, I got the album in Vietnam from this Mexican guy that came to the camp where there was mortar fire and gave me the album to play, and then all this stuff happened, and everybody was scattered, and I kept the album. They said, that guy was me. I got the cover for the album. How ironic is that,
That's
right?
crazy.
Yes.
Wow.
So he started crying when he told me that story. They said, you'll always be in our hearts because you were there with us.
Yeah.
So
That ended up being one of your most recognizable songs as the Vestida de Blanco.
yeah.
And going back to the military stuff, the Hispanic culture's always been very patriotic, ¿verdad?
Oh,
and
yeah.
ready to serve, man, right?
Yeah. A lot of guts.
Yeah.
Yeah, no fear, man. Vámonos. Donde nos llamen, ahí estamos. You know.
Yeah, even though there were so many, obstacles, with all kinds of issues going back in the day, the Hispanic culture and the Hispanic families were very united. They'd go to work all together, and then they'd end up, serving in the military. And so many Hispanics have been through the military, man, right? And then in that era where you're from, the 70s, the entertainment industry was full of veterans.
Yeah.
I mean, people that served and not just got drafted, actually went and signed up, In Hollywood, you had Charles Bronson. You had all these guys that ended up going into the military because they were so poor they needed something to eat, what I mean?
Yeah.
They wanted clean clothes and stuff. So they'd enter the military and they became veterans, and they did some pretty. I love watching those documentaries on the old school movie stars, Cary Grant, all those guys.
Yeah.
But like all the little rascals, they all ended up being veterans, dude.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's like it was interesting, but back then, it was an honor to serve our country, right?
That's what makes you good. I'm talking about you. Dice la película, you're good. What's the name of that actor?
I don't remember.
I don't remember, man.
Que sale el comedian con anyway.
Well, you said I get those brain farts all the time, bro. Don't worry about it. Sometimes I'll be in bed and I'll remember, and I'm like, "Chinga, we're off the air already." But what do you mean that makes? What were you?
Que estás tu mente se involucra en toda clase de generaciones de artistas y que se desarrollaba, que no, y,
Yeah, I'm a history buff. I mean, you can ask my wife. When I used to get an album like one of these cool albums from Carlos Guzman that I had never ever seen in my life, ladies and gentlemen. This is like, it's not only an album, it's like a centerfold with Carlos on it. And it's him standing there with a whole suit and everything. Look at that, right?
Awesome.
And then the inside has nothing but awesome, great, nostalgic black and white pictures. these are some albums. When I would get an album, or my mom would buy an album, I'd put it on, I'd listen to it, and when I lived with my parents, they had the Carpenters to Little Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a variety. Pero yo soy el tipo that I would read all the little letters and I'd read everything about the album. I was so fascinated with how this was made. The records and then you got into that, man. How was it to hear your song on the radio for the very first time, Carlos? And when did that happen?
You got to remember, and I'll be very, very open and honest with you. I've never thought of myself as a wow thing, Even when we went to the Grammys, it was just, yes, it was exciting, and yes, it's the Grammys. I was more into watching the production on the stage than telling myself, you're going to be there pretty soon, receiving the recognition, you know. But I was more into the production, how everything takes place.
How does it work all together?
Oh, right? Man. But back to your question, I heard Vestida Blanco, and then I heard it a million times.
But that's awesome, dude.
Well, yeah. And, acuérdate
but the very first time you heard it, I mean, because usually when you talk to an artist, right, George, they'll say, man, the very first time I heard the song on the radio, it just it was crazy. And you're talking back in the late 60s, right?
Late 60s, yeah.
And then you had the radio station probably back then?
Early 60s.
Early 60s.
Very early 60s. 63, 64, ya estaba en todas las estaciones de radio. Acuérdate que you go back in time, también no te hagas sonso, pero...
That's my specialty. How do you think I've gotten backstage so many times? Me hago el soncito.
Back in the days, había 216 stations que le mandaba promoción la compañía disquera. Cada release que hacían en 45 for the airplay, eran, I think it's 216, maybe more than that. Pero cada release lo mandaban a todas las estaciones. For whatever the reason, Vestida de Blanco caught fire on all the radio stations from coast to coast y parte de la República de México.
Yeah.
And everybody was like astounded because ya había salido esa canción originalmente con E.J. Ledesma, a group called Los Cruisers.
Yeah.
They'd released that song, but under the title Hoy Que Vuelvo.
E.J. Ledesma, another fantastic musician and artist from South Texas.
Yeah, and it didn't do much airplay, no airplay at all. Hoy Que Vuelvo no funcionó.
Well, what was it that yours had that just...
I think because we picked up the song as part of the repertoire del grupo and sang it in muchos lugares, and they would ask for the song, and we would refer to to that person. La encuentras con el grupo de E.J. Ledesma.
E.J. was also not just a musician, but a very good songwriting talent, right? As well. I remember seeing his name in a lot of songs.
Oh, I did about 16 or more songs de él.
You made him some money, Carlos.
Oh, yeah.
Did he get his royalties out of this stuff? I mean, I hope he did.
Some.
Yeah, because, I mean...
Back in the days, no sabíamos...
De regalías y todo.
Exacto. Mira, te voy a platicar.
El negocio.
Mira, te voy a platicar lo que nos hicimos recently. And you got to tell George, tell him to tell you the story about what we did, a year ago?
Yeah, about a year ago.
What happened, George?
Now, we pretty much, I used to always ask him, like, hey, man, back in the day, how come, like, you never really established the whole royalty stuff and never had, like, somebody that would manage you in a way? But he would always just tell me, man, I was just in that moment. I wasn't thinking about all that. But yeah, up until recently, about a year ago, we finally like enrolled his name and submitted his name into Sound Exchange for royalty purposes and everything. And funny thing is, like, we do have there's some songs that are in the catalog that do show up on the site or whatever, on the webpage. And we try to like add some more as we go. And then a couple checks will come in here and there, but
What are we looking at? The checks, what? $20?
A little more than that. Pero had we done it back then,
yeah,
the Vestida Blanco to the present,
But the thing is, Carlos and George, an artist doesn't want to deal with that shit.
They don't.
We want to be creative. We want to perform. We need to trust somebody to handle that
Right,
for us. And
right.
at a young age, you just want to get on stage. You want to get that drug that's being on stage and being approved by the audiences
Right.
with what you're doing. We don't have time to be. And then if we start dealing with the business, it fucks up our freaking
The format.
performance
Yeah.
and our creativity.
Right.
It does, because then you start writing a whole bunch of shit, negative shit, because the business is so hard and so
Right.
tough. And so it's hard. An artist has to have people they can trust in order so they can just commit to the creativity of the art. You know,
That's
right?
true.
And there was a bunch of us like that didn't focus on getting management. I mean, real management. And I was booked. I mean, I could go on, but I was booked all year around. I was booked en la segunda semana de enero de cada año. Our booking agent ya nos tenía buqueado todo el año. Y nos teníamos breaks to be in Texas, performing in the state of Texas, and going to the studio for more albums. Okay, but think about it. All year long, from coast to coast, agarrabas desde San Diego para arriba hasta Idaho, Washington, Utah, Arizona, West Texas, en Central Texas, y luego te vas para Illinois, Florida, and Ohio, Wisconsin, Michigan.
You were rolling.
I mean, I tried quitting 3 times because I was tired of the road.
Yeah.
But the promoters wouldn't let me.
That's why I have so much respect for Tejano artists, because they're nonstop touring. I mean, it's never like the American, music industry or British music industry. They record an album and then they tour for about a year and a half, and then they take 2 years to record another album. And then they never, the Tejano artists were touring constantly, probably about 330 days a year, and having to record music and albums and create content during that as well.
Yeah.
So it was nonstop. It was a nonstop cycle.
I had a commitment with a recording company because at the beginning of my contract, which I never had, with Falcon Records, the old man, Mr. Ramirez, offered me either royalties or a check every Friday that my family could pick up at the office. It was a handsome check every Friday.
Yeah. Salary.
And I'll teach you the ropes about the industry of the record industry as well as the publishing company. So I took the weekly check for 22 years and never received any royalties de artista. And we were selling a lot of records at the time. But I was never, I look back because the old man taught me so much. I went and did television. I went and did radio. I was his ambassador to Mexico, Central, South America.
He was way ahead of his time, that man.
Oh yeah, and to say that I wanted to be, I faced those challenges and I took them, and represent the old man en la compañía en México, Centro y Sudamérica, con debates de regalías o debates de dinero, con gente muy high end, y me enseñó cómo defenderme, cómo hablar el español, cómo conducir cualquier tema que se...
He was your mentor.
Yes.
He was your mentor.
Y después de eso, cuando dejé los Fabulosos 4 y los separamos, sí, vino la época de orquestal tejana, but I was known all these years as a balladeer, el baladista, el crooner, el Frank Sinatra de nosotros los mexicanos. The promos all over were el Dean Martin mexicano, porque siempre traía una copa de licor en la mano y el cigarro en la otra. And they gave me titles all over the country, but as a ballad singer. Ahora, una cosa interesante es que eso que te platiqué que me enseñó el español el señor Ramírez y me corregían en
¿Cómo hablarlo correcto?
Y me corregía mucho en mis grabaciones. Eso creo que fue una clave grande para entrar en los mercados grandes. como Los Ángeles, San Francisco, Chicago, Detroit, and so on, en Monterrey, Mexico City. Pero el hecho de ser baladista y hablar el español bastante bien, hizo que entrara todo ese episodio de mi vida. Had I stayed in Tejano, it would have been minimized to Tejano.
And a lot of people don't understand. There's a difference in language.
Yes.
You know,
sir.
I remember, decades after it happened with you, being in the studio with Selena, and a guy named Manolo from Capitol Records was sitting in the studio, and they had him there just so he can listen to the diction of Selena's singing or saying the Spanish words, because they needed to be correct. And what happened with her? She exploded in Mexico.
Exactly.
Because they decided to change the lyrical content of the song, and it wasn't Tejano anymore. It was international, dude, but with a Tejano flavor, cumbia flavor, and they hit it out of the ballpark.
Oh,
man.
yeah. Eso, qué bueno que lo mencionas, porque muchos se quieren dar el crédito que yo hice esto, yo hice lo otro.
Y quieren andar como Rocky, como George. He was making fun of us, George.
I love it, man.
He was walking down. You should have seen him, ladies and gentlemen. He was walking from the door over here. He was behind us. Y ustedes andan así, que le diga. ¿Por qué andan así? Le dije, Carlos, it's just called confidence, ¿verdad? Puro pedo, no es confidence.
Oye, pero ya vas agarrando puro pedo con eso ahora. No, Carlos que nos criticó, nada.
No, it's just, it's fun. I love it. I love it. And we're revisiting it through it's like a comedian bringing the beginning to the end and finishing the show, right? There we go. So,
pero mira,
okay,
a lo que iba, que todos se quieren darle crédito, que yo hice el otro para la música nuestra, y yo tengo que decir siempre, y lo voy a decir ahorita, la persona que abrió las puertas para muchos fue Paulino Bernal.
Yeah.
He opened the trail for a bunch of us. Todavía no existía Little Joe, ni Agustín, ni Freddy. Paulino empezó a establecer promotores en diferentes zonas de Estados Unidos, desde California, Texas, Illinois.
He created a network.
Yes. Y el chavo,
and a record label.
Y el chavo venía y grababa. Un vato que le decía a señor Pérez, por ejemplo, en Saginaw, you're going to be the promoter here in Saginaw y en Traverse City y en Grand Rapids. Yo no sé nada de promoters, yo te mando la promoción grabada. ¿Quién tiene en radio aquí? Pues allá la hermana María tiene 1 hora de programa. Quítale 30 minutos a la hermana María y mete 30 minutos de Bagel Records.
El baile grande.
Yeah.
El baile grande.
So el chavo empezó.
We got some of the music right here. I mean, some Bernal. I mean, and a lot of people don't remember or don't take that into consideration.
Yeah.
And I was going to mention him when you were talking about Vietnam, how he went out and performed in the middle of the jungle for the military.
Él y el conjunto Bernal, Domingo Peña estaba con ellos. Y a mí me invitaron, pues yo tenía contratos, no pude cancelar contratos para que fuera con ellos. Pero a lo que voy es que el señor Paulino Bernal es el creador de muchos promotores en muchas zonas donde la hispanidad vivían y que empezaron a oír nuestra música. Y siempre era muy astuto. He would follow the crops. Si había la cherry en Traverse City, Michigan, he would send groups en la temporada de la cherry, bla, 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 el algodón acá en West Texas, la uva allá en California, and so on. Él estaba viendo las épocas de las cosechas y mandaba desde... Nosotros lo seguíamos al conjunto Bernal y nos dieron encima el compromiso de llevarnos a Ramón Ayala y Cornelio Reina, como los Relámpagos del Norte, cuando pegaron Ya no llores, iban siguiéndonos en nuestra trayectoria con su propio vehículo y los exponíamos a los públicos que ya teníamos establecidos nosotros. Y los Relámpagos explotaron después como uno de los grandes de la música. Pero en conclusión a esto, Paulino Bernal, el señor Bernal, es el creador de muchas agrupaciones y muchos promotores y muchas zonas de Estados Unidos que entró nuestra música.
Not only was he astute, creating that network and being a visionary, right? That's what he was. He was a visionary. He was able to create territories for the music industry, our music industry, in order for, the certain circuit to be created for all the artists to be going around it. And, and not only did he do that, or not only was he astute in that manner, but in his playing too, man. I have a CD, and what happened is he got into the Christian industry, and he never really recorded any more secular music.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Mando Lichtenberger from La Mafia gets him to get into the studio and record an album of polkas. And when I got that CD, it blew all the albums away, dude. I mean, I was like, how does he play like that? When you listen to it, it's incredible, man. That guy was just he was ahead of his time and just an amazing mind, man.
There's so many.
And he also influenced a lot of artists after him, just like the Beatles influenced a lot of artists in the American industry.
Right.
Los Chachos.
Todos están saliendo con voces y todo. I mean, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
Los Fabulosos Cuatro.
Yeah.
I mean, remember when you were when did you join Los Fabulosos Cuatro?
19, ¿qué te importa?
It wasn't that late. I mean, it was the 70s, wasn't it?
No, it was the very early 60s.
I didn't know they went back that far.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the Fabulosos Cuatro?
Yeah. Era Mel Villarreal. Era Valde Muñoz originalmente en
the drummer that was with Fandango USA, La Charanga and all that.
Pero se fue para Vietnam.
Otro también.
Y entró el drummer Juanito, que Dios lo tenga en paz. He was a roadie, loading and unloading and setting up at the station. But he would always play the songs de nosotros en la drum.
Sí.
Y we're going to hire somebody from Phoenix to play drums for us on our tour. Dice Juan, yo sé todas las rolas. What do you mean you sé todas las rolas? Yeah, I can play them.
Juan Hinojosa.
Juan Hinojosa, yeah.
Que en paz descanse.
Yeah, and he started playing and on rehearsal. I said, wow. And we never expected for him to become one of the best drummers in the world.
Natural.
Yeah.
He had a natural ability as his brother.
Yeah.
Mando, I think his name is.
Mando.
That guy plays accordion, keyboards. I've seen him play everything.
Yeah,
I mean, the guy and their dad, man, it was one of the coolest dudes you could ever know. I mean, he lived there on the end of Tamarack and Hackberry and 23rd Street. Y cada rato me hablaba para que hay WW y que ven y come almuerza acá. So after I get off the morning show, and I'd go to his place and I'd hang out with him just to hear his stories and all this stuff. I mean, that guy knew about Carlos y Jose. I mean, he knew about all kinds of artists.
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Oh, yeah.
It was incredible.
So,
and so you decided to get Juan, and Juan started to...
un día fueron a buscarme a la casa. Yo vivía en el opposite side of Hackberry. Vivía en Ivy.
Okay.
Estaba en la espalda
Aquí en la ciudad de McAllen, Texas, o en la ciudad, we're in Edinburgh. But
Yeah. Y un día fue Armando, dijo, oye, me dicen que tú sabes cantar. Le dije, no. I was still at the optical place. Dijo, pues, ¿por qué no vienes a un ensayo? Está Oscar Hernández y Chori.
Another amazing accordion player.
I said, well, I'll go and check it out. And I went across the alley. Ahí estaban practicando. And I did a song or two. Says, hey, you want to sing with us? I got to get paid because I don't want to live, just leave the valley just for the heck of it. Y pues te garantizamos $10, $10 a night.
Damn, after getting 20 from Isidro Lopez back in 1959, dude, what's up with that, dude?
I said, well, I'll give it a shot. So we started touring to San Antonio and back, local things. But we weren't making any money or gigs,
You were paying your dues.
Yeah, so anyway, so I decided, no, I've had it. Y el güero, Snowball, said, well, yo también, pues no está haciendo feria aquí este jale. Let's form our own group, So, and you can stick around and be part of the group. So, okay, we can try it. Y eran los Fabulosos Cuatro. Le cambiamos el nombre. Primero sacamos un álbum, Carlos Guzmán y su conjunto. y después le cambiaron el nombre.
Was this before Vestida de Blanco or after? Because I remember seeing the picture
Right before.
of you guys behind of the album cover, and it's a picture of the whole group. And seeing Snowball all slicked out, with his 50s haircut and all that, on an albino guy, right?
Yeah.
Like, he looks so cool with those black glasses. You guys look cool in those suits, man.
I know.
I mean, it looked great. That's one of the most classic. That picture should be blown up and framed and put somewhere, man. We need that picture.
I think that that's what made El Conjunto Bernal and us reconocidos, porque siempre nos lucíamos iguales, y después entraron los Beatles, también iguales.
Yeah, they were wearing those suits.
Pero traían Beatle boots. Estos,
everybody
Beatle boots,
wanted them, man. Yeah.
So, so many things that I could be telling you. We did the Cow Palace in San Francisco, and I saw.
Van Halen's played the Cow. That's where they would play at the Cow Palace.
Anyway, we were performing there this particular Saturday, and there was a poster bigger than the one you got there, the Elvis. And y nosotros, la raza, chavato, aquí tocaron los Beatles la semana pasada, vato. Y el poster de nosotros on the opposite side of the entrance. And that poster, I could just take it off, que estaba nomás con tape así, los corners, y roll it, y tato para la casa, güey.
Yeah.
I know. Que loca aquí de los Beatles.
You should have done that.
I know.
I did that with a Steve Jordan poster that was at Cena Del Rey. I went
you
into the
did do
bathroom.
that,
Oh, yeah.
Te lo robaste.
It was his 70th birthday. And I
robó.
went in there y llevé a mi tío, Jesse, estamos sentados ahí, and I went to the bathroom, and there was one poster there. I said, I'm taking this one. And I framed it. I have it. It looks great,
It's
right?
beautiful.
Yeah, we need to bring it in here and put it in here. But it's like, who else has that poster now? It's the 70th birthday, and there wasn't many out there. And I go back and I showed it to my uncle, and my uncle me lo trata de quitar, bro, But no. But yeah, man, I mean, being able to perform in areas like that.
Yeah, we performed the same venue. And there's another story in the book. I'm going to condense it también, para que compren el libro la gente.
Yeah, let me show them the book before you get to that story.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to get a piece of history right here, you might want to order this awesome book, Born to Sing, Carlos Guzman, a condensed story of a long journey. So the reason it's condensed because, a lot of names have been changed to protect the innocent.
And the guilty.
And the guilty.
And the guilty.
And then it says, with over 500 songs recorded, the journey continues. You can order this through his email. All you got to do is email him personally. And what is the email, Ma?
Oh, yeah. What is the email, George?
Give me 1 second.
We got the email, so you can order it. And it's going to be an awesome collection. Even if you don't read books, get it and read every. There's some pictures in there.
Yes.
And it's just an awesome book. And it's a great story about one of our very own here in the Rio Grande Valley, Margarito, known as Carlos Guzman. And so get that book.
You can contact him at Carlos Guzman Entertainer at gmail.com.
Great. Carlos Guzman Entertainer at gmail.com. Send him an email. Get the book. It helps him out as well, and you'll have a piece of history. I mean, this is an amazing story that he's telling us about, and there's plenty more stories in here, and condensed is what we're doing right now, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to thank Humberto Bocanegra that took the time. He's been after me for years and years, and I said, Humberto, I'm not interested in the book, Y al fin de todo, se comunicó con mi esposa Melva, se juntaron las dos mentes. That Melva started pulling out stuff that she's got una colección increíble.
Your biggest fan, your biggest groupie, bro. I mean, she's been behind you 110%, Carlos.
Let me tell
Melva, what a beautiful woman, bro.
Yeah.
You were blessed, and you were a very lucky man.
Yeah.
With Melva. I mean, I worked with her, and she's the one that got me the job after I got fired out of a radio station. She told she told Raul Hernandez, because she was working with Raul over here by Foy's at that it was a little radio station.
Yeah.
And I had just gotten fired, so the phone rings, and it's like, her wife was the first voice I heard. Is this Rock and Roll James? I go, yes. Hold on. Hey, Rock, habla Raúl Hernández, cuñado. Melba aquí me dice que te oyes como Manos a Román en el radio, carnal. Te oyes como Manos a Román. Pues, yeah, a lot of people, would say that, right? Bueno, pues, ¿quieres trabajar? Dije, está bueno, pues, I'll go. When do you want me? Yo pensaba 2 weeks. Ven mañana, comienzas. What the hell?
Hell yeah.
So your wife, she got me the gig, dude. And she kept me working in radio.
I remember that.
And I'll never forget that. And then you show up every day to check up on her, of course.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I remember your dad walking in, and George was like this tall. George was like about 5 years old.
Yeah, was 5 years old.
Llegaba Melba contigo y te estaba yendo para la escuela y te levantaba a la escuela and all that. Man, great memories, man.
I know. En todo caso, ella tiene un cuarto privado, no privado, pero away from the main area, que acumuló con el tiempo by decades, por décadas, unos binders de este grueso así, 19, quién sabe qué, pero tiene una chifonía, así que le llaman, con tanta información y luego una pared llena de discos.
That's awesome.
Hombre.
Yeah.
So, cuando Humberto vio que tenía toda esta colección ya chronologically in order.
Women are so organized, right?
Let's do the book.
Yeah.
Y se animaron y empezaron a escribir el libro.
That is awesome. And, I always ask them if they should write a book.
You know what? Talking about those times when you worked at the radio station, I think I have a drawing that I did when I was 5 years old, and I drew like you behind the DJ booth, and I was in there too. And then I think I even did a commercial one time, like a Christmas commercial, and I was like 5 or 6 years old back in the day when you were there.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. Interesting because, if Melba hadn't made that call or told Raul about me, I would have never met Raul. And Raul was a major mentor in my career as well, along with Mando. He's the one that was like, would always correct my Spanish.
Yeah,
he says, habla el español correcto.
Así es.
Cuñado.
Así es.
And he was and just like Mr. Ramirez was with you when you were starting up.
Yeah.
So, and then I had worked with Mike Benavides, Mike.
Yeah,
right. Mike was there. And then Mike.
Infante.
Mike Infante, ándale ese. Mike Infante. Me acuerdo, me dice Belma. No le prestes dinero a Mike. Whatever you do, Rock, don't lend Mike any money.
Oye,
y de volada me cayó Mike, le tuve que prestar $5, carnal. Dame salud para Mike.
Oye, me acuerdo que una helada de un winter que tuvo, la helada tremenda, se congeló la antena. Que está ahí en Mission. La antena que manda la señal para la estación.
Sí.
Me acuerdo que Raúl andaba panicking y decía, Mike, pues la antena, ¿qué quieres que me suba la antena? Se está congelada. It was frozen.
Yeah.
And there was no way to fix it until the weather would diminish it.
Raúl was, man, he was a personality, man.
Yeah.
He was a character.
Oh, no me quiero salir mucho del tema, pero cuando compramos el roving radio, ¿te acuerdas?
Yeah, it was like a big boom box. And then there was a DJ booth inside the middle where the cassette thing comes out, right?
Yeah.
And then we would, it was a booth in there.
I remember that.
He would pull that thing. And then not only did he have that with the little, it was a small radio station, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't corporate shit. It was like mom and pop stuff.
Yeah.
And he would go, and then he also had this big old long pit where he would cook out for the listeners, and then we would put that boom box, and I'd be, inside the booth, and we'd be broadcasting live from a certain event or a certain place. I remember one time.
Lleno de gente.
Yeah, and I remember we were between radio station studios.
Yeah.
So we asked one of our clients, and they said, can we put the boom box out there, and can we just broadcast from there, from your business? Dijo, pues, yeah, come on in, not free advertisement. We were on 23rd Street right there, just DJing, seeing all the cars pass by, and people would stop and ask for a request. It was an amazing time for me. I mean, it was just awesome, and just being able to work with Raul was a blessing, man.
Yo y René Sandoval y Raúl, we went to Terre Haute, Indiana, to pick up the rotary radio.
René Sandoval is a sax player, very an amazing jazz player.
Jazz.
Yeah.
And we were, me dijeron, ¿tú qué sabes la ruta aquí en Chicago, from Indiana to Chicago, rumbo y nos dijeron los chavos que hicieron la traila. Dijo, you brought that Econo thing with the small engine, it wouldn't take you to Chicago. You're going to burn the engine. No. Y no traía un hitch, Mickey Mouse hitch para la trailer. Tuvo que gastar como $300 en aquel entonces for the proper hitch to accommodate the radio. Y andaba echando chispas. Raúl dijo, tú que conoces aquí Chicago, maneja tú la van. Y me acuerdo que estaba el traffic pesado en Chicago, en el freeway. Y los negritos, they used to love seeing that roving radio. It was like a boombox. Y cada vez que se parqueaban en un stop y se ponían en el shoulder, en los wheels, como que estaban holding el boombox.
Yeah. They took pictures of it. Yeah, man. Those were good times. Yeah. Do we have any people on the chat zone, babe, that might want to mention something?
Yeah, they just want to say that you are a legend and that they were asking about one of the albums that you all were talking about earlier. They were asking what year that was. I'm not quite sure what it was.
The Vestida de Blanco.
I think so. What year was that?
No, maybe that one, the one you showed. Huh?
This one right here. What year is this? This has got to be the 70s, probably 73, 72.
It's got to be in there somewhere.
Yeah. Dude, my eyesight's... Dice McAllen, Texas. Carlos Guzman y los Jóvenes is the name of it, so... But I like that little porn stash you got there. Está bruto el bigotito. Parece el de Mario Superstar Salazar. Have you seen that guy? He's got a mustache like that.
He grew it out.
Well, yeah, because you didn't have a mustache. What made you throw that mustache on all of a sudden? You've never had a mustache.
Yes, I did for a while.
Yeah, you just wanted to change the look and look a little more mature or something.
You had that little pencil thin mustache one time, right?
Yeah.
The little...
And now...
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be live. We gotta let you know, man, because we're gonna be live this Saturday. We haven't played in a long while, Whiskey D, since about June, but we're gonna do the Desperado Harley-Davidson 10-year anniversary Saturday, October 16th, 5 to 10 p.m. There's gonna be a bike night, food, cold beer, Harleys, giveaways, bikers, costume contest with prizes. So if you want to win some prizes, take your costume. It's an adult costume contest. We have a full-blown stage and production, live music featuring Venomous, Rob Gotta See a Band, and Whiskey D. It's going to be fantastic. The weather's going to be awesome. There's a cool front coming in early Saturday morning, and then we're expecting about a 65, 70-degree weather at about the evening and afternoon, and it's going to be awesome. So take your bike out there. If you don't have a bike, take your lawn chair, sit down in front of the stage, enjoy some cold beer, enjoy some food, enjoy some Harleys, the smell of motorcycles. Desperado Harley-Davidson's 10-year anniversary happening this Saturday, and Whiskey D is going to leave it all on stage, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
ASUSTAME.
So, hang on.
Okay.
So what do you think? You want to be like Rock?
Yeah, this is actually really cool. Like,
Devin,
I'm enjoying it.
Dude, we've done really good with Carlos, but George, what's up with George? Carlos, you and him are partners, man. George has been by your side for a long time, man. Right? I mean,
he's my son.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
y es el coyote, ¿verdad? Es el más chiquito de todos.
Yeah. But he's had a career. An interesting career también,
yeah,
you know.
Man. But, I mean, a lot of people probably don't know that you were part of the Cumbia Kings and part of that whole deal,
that
right?
little journey, yeah. I had a little journey with them for a good, about almost 4 years,
Where did you go to school, bro? You went to school in McAllen or Mission?
I went to Mission. I graduated from Mission High, Eagles.
Orale.
Yeah, back in 2000.
And right after you graduated, you said, I'm going to get involved in the music industry too? Or you decided to learn about beard and barber? And all?
Well, you know what? I mean, I dabbled a bit. I do sing. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I would sing my dad's songs and stuff. But I guess, I mean, it's just something that was pretty natural to me.
Well, you're good at it, bro. I mean, I was just talking to Clipper G, right, to George, telling him, dude, because he texted me right up to coordinate all the, And I was like, dude, I haven't had my beard done as good as when George
Never.
did it,
It's good,
you know.
right?
But yeah, man, I gotta get you at the house so you can do it for me.
You raise the bar because he goes to whoever he goes to,
Yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
nope, it's not like George's.
and
It's not like George.
I'm not gonna lie, but it's like that with a lot of people.
Yes,
Yeah, and you got a
yeah.
lot of practice because you were with the Cumbia Kings, and you had to
Right.
keep those guys. They got like a little line,
Oh,
dude.
yeah,
you know,
man. That
whatever.
would, all the designs I would do, like on Pee Wee, and I mean, you name it, man. A lot of the other guys, Abel, Talamantes, Panji.
You got to travel a bit with them too,
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
South America.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
went to South America, went all over Mexico, here in the States as well. Yeah, it was just kind of weird, man. It's just kind of something that fell on my lap. And it was all, I mean, pretty much thanks to my dad. I mean, if I wouldn't have gone with my dad to run an errand one time, and he took me to this one random place and said, hey, man, you're enrolling in barber school, and I got you already like going and stuff.
that's
so,
awesome. So
I
your
got-
dad's got you into that.
So yeah, he got me. I guess you could say it also was just being around the industry as well, and seeing like my dad getting ready for his gigs. You know, being around Grupo Mas as well with Joe Lopez, seeing him, La Sombra. You know, Los Chamacos, you name it, man. Like, you know, La Mafia, seeing them get all, you know,
Yeah.
ready for the shows.
Yeah.
I just like that, you know.
Yeah,
just,
dude.
Like the imagery and everything just came something easy. Like, and I'm an artistic person myself, so my attention to detail came with, I guess, creating stuff with my hands and doing hair, man.
The way you do beards, that's art, bro. It's not a skill. It's art, and it looks like you really, man. And ladies and gentlemen, when he's doing like little things here and there, and I'm like, what is he doing, man? What is he doing?
know.
So, but it's every single. You have very good eye for detail in a beard, man. And it was, my wife was like, man, your beard looks amazing.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
And then your son, dude. Your son is the grandson, third generation, ladies and
Right.
gentlemen, Devin Lyric, who's also dabbling in the industry that his dad has been in for decades, right?
Right. Yeah.
Devin,
Yeah.
what are you up to, bro?
Right now I'm trying to make some music and produce. So
How old are you, dude?
I turned 15 on this March actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so
estás chavalón todavía.
I'm still young.
Well, you're the perfect age that artist management starts molding an artist. They like the younger they are, the better it is because they have a longer. By the time they get to 35, it's 20 years, and you could have a 20-year, pretty solid.
Yeah, they're seasoned.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Justin Bieber, man.
Oh yeah.
That
since
kid.
he's a
How old
kid.
was he? How old was Justin Bieber? He was.
I think
Like
he was
the
like
same
13.
age,
Yeah,
Also-
now he's grown and evolved into the
Yeah.
artist he is right now as well, man. What
Yeah.
kind of music do you like to listen to and you like to record?
I like R&B music. I listen to a lot of Frank Ocean, Daniel Caesar, like stuff like that.
Are you? Do you have any music? Is there any music in YouTube?
We actually did. We recorded somewhat of it was like a mini music video. Pretty much his own rendition of a song called, what was it? A Million Dreams.
Yeah, A Million Dreams.
It was from the movie
The Greatest Showman.
The Greatest Showman.
Is it, babe?
On
He
YouTube.
sings. It's pretty amazing. This video.
Really?
I've seen it. So it's under Devin Lyric or what? Let's look for it. I'm gonna play it.
Do you remember what it
I
is?
think it was Devin Lyric sings A Million Dreams.
Sings
Yeah.
Million Dreams. And how old were you when you did this one?
I was about, I would say like 13, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
6th grade.
And the video's great because your dad comes out.
yeah,
That's right.
I love the video.
You should look at the video, folks. It's father-son cover of A Million Dreams from The Greatest Showman. Devin Lyric and George Guzman, Jorge. Wow.
I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me that I call my own.
How old were you in this one?
12, 13?
Like they're like 12 or 13.
Door, through where no one's been before.
That's not easy stuff to sing right there.
Listen to it.
They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams
What do you feel, Carlos, when you see this video, man?
Oh man! I mean,
I want to cry, dude. What the hell's going on over here?
it's amazing, really amazing how it comes natural, and then he comes on board.
But he's your grandson, dude.
Oh,
I mean,
hello.
it's like just seeing your grandson.
I like the part when he comes in the song.
Well, I'll tell you this: at the ending, when we do the little harmony part, oh man, that it hits me, man, because I'm with my son,
Yeah.
So it's a different feeling.
We're gonna put the link of the video in the description after we're done, so that way you can access it and you can share it with all your friends. And it's a great song, and show it if you have any kids.
Yes.
Show it to them. It inspires them to do stuff like this.
And thanks to Tony Longoria, man. He's the one that helped us out with this video.
Whole cinematography and everything.
Yeah, it's a very, very well produced, and I like it, man. I like it. It's awesome, man.
But he's actually done a few other like songs covers, but I guess remixes that he's recorded at Freddie Records.
That's George.
A million dreams are keeping me away.
And they're singing to each other on a swing in the yard, man. It's like, I can imagine. What did you feel when you first saw this video, Carlos? Did you cry, dude?
No,
Come on, man. Don't lie.
No, I felt emotional, yes, because it's such a great song for the two dudes to be doing.
They delivered it perfect.
I tell you, man. And it's just amazing, Even though it's a cover song, but they did an amazing job,
And you're an amazing person, Carlos.
Well, God is good, man.
Yeah, you're blessed, bro.
Yes.
Hablando de Devin, he's been involved in a project that we did because of the COVID, se parqueó. But we did about 10 years with the Spirit of Hope. We did a yearly concert for the church, a big church in Corpus, and Freddie heard him one time, and he blew him away. I said, I want this kid on every show that we do from this point forward. So he recorded Devin in the studio so many times and included it in a CD that the funds that are made with the CD are given to the church.
Yeah.
So it's called the Spirit of Hope, and it's just amazing.
How's your spirituality, man? You're feeling awesome, and being able to sing with your son, your grandson, and do Christian music, and praise God and Jesus for everything that you've gone through, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Because even the bad teaches us something. That's right. And it makes us grow and become the people that we become.
Well,
and you had the stroke, man, and you made it out, and with the push of your loved ones, you were able to, make it out. And
I did one show in San Antonio. When was it? Easter? No. Anyway, I did a show 3-4 months back, and I was kind of hesitant to do my vocals, with the show. But the guy convinced me, Carlos, just a sitting audience, and we're going to do gospel songs.
Yeah.
So come and do 2 songs, the gospel. And I went to San Antonio, and they went with me for support. And I was amazed to how everything turned out really, really good. The audience got involved. They started crying.
You feel the Spirit.
Yeah, and I started crying myself.
I bet.
And I says, okay, shut the hell up. Yeah. Let's get back to normal.
And it's tough getting back to it.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife and I would go to church, and as soon as we went in there, as soon as the ministry started singing, and we would just feel overwhelmed by the amount of spirit that was flowing through the entire congregation, with the music. It's like you can't help but break down, sometimes.
a great feeling.
Yeah, man. So, man, I'm really glad. And, this isn't going to be the last time. You got plenty more stories, and we got a lot to talk about, Carlos. But, it's getting a little bit late. It's getting past our bedtime, Dad. But, Carlos.
Tell me more about the farting.
The farting?
Oh, no.
I was telling Carlos about the Buff Bagwell when he was at my house. Cut those 1 minute long, 60-second long farts, man. But he's right here, man. Buff Bagwell right here, man. He's right there. But Carlos, man, I appreciate you. We had planned to do this show, a while back, and then COVID came around, and we had to be careful. And then you gave me a call, and I said, Carlos, when are you coming to the show, man? Come down. Yeah. And then I'm glad George and your grandson came in. I had 3 generations here. This is the very first time anything like this ever happens inside the #PV Studios. And what do you think of the studios, man? I mean,
I love it. I was going to be kind of, I thought I was going to be a little bit disappointed, but knowing you, knowing you go all out, man. This
is great.
Yeah,
this
awesome.
is a hell of a production room. I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cameras, and 5 lights, and this is awesome.
We started with 1 phone.
Oh wow!
And you know
One
why we
camera.
started this show, Carlos? Because of COVID.
Yeah.
Because all our gigs with the band got canceled.
Yeah.
And me and my wife, it was shelter in place. We couldn't leave the house unless you had an essential card.
Yeah.
So I told my wife, she wasn't going to go work. I was working, but because I had an essential card, because I'm in the radio industry and my job is to inform people about any news coming up and where people can go and stuff. Because it was a very scary time.
Oh yeah.
In our history, I had never ever been through it before, and then we start seeing and hearing of friends dying and stuff, and so this is some serious stuff, right? And so I told my wife, look, we're home, why don't we go live on the YouTube? Because I was doing interviews and editing them, right, and uploading it with Chris Perez, and so me sentaba con Chris, grabamos la entrevista y lo quebraba en episodes y los dejaba enganchado cada día a la gente para que sigan, siguiéndome. Y le dije a mi wife, let's go live. We went live. She was my first interview with 1 phone and 2 mics. That's it.
Wow.
And we started something, and my wife's one of those determined persons that takes a lot of pride in her work and what she does. And we always want to be the best, and we want to make things better. Yeah. And the reason I wanted to, have this YouTube channel is to have people on the show like yourself. People that have paved many roads for a lot of artists today, that some of those artists tend to not know or realize about it, but I like to bring it to the forefront, and I love to hear the stories, man. And I appreciate you.
I tell you what, let's set up a date, because I had so much to tell you about the journey. Like all these groups from Mexico, Los Buques, Los Muecas, Los Felinos, Los Yonix, Los Tigres, Brown Express, so many bands that I can mention were the opening acts for us. The Fabulosos Cuatro y Carlos Guzman, especially in the state of California. And then they all idolize us. Like, wow. My biggest admirers and fans were people like Alberto Vázquez, Enrique Guzmán, Angelica Maria, Cesar Costa, Manolo Muñoz. I can name you people that would think of Carlos Guzmán as a big Elvis or something when my recordings come out. And so there's so many stories to tell, and it may sound like bragging, but no, there's stuff that can prove that.
Back it up.
Yeah, they can back it up.
And we've got a lot of it documented right here, ladies and gentlemen, through some of the stories that his wife has put together. Actually had everything organized. They decided to go through all the memorabilia that Carlos's wife had put together and organized, and then you got together with somebody, wrote a book, and there's a lot of stories.
You got to give credit to Humberto Bocanegra.
Humberto Bocanegra. So the way to get this book, ladies and gentlemen, is you go to you email Carlos, right?
Yes, email. It's Carlos Guzman Entertainer @gmail.com.
All right. So make sure to get the book and help out Carlos. And Devin, we appreciate you being on the show, man. And, if you ever get something out or record something new, just come on by and we'll push it on the show and we'll play it and stuff like that.
Thank you.
If you got a video, and George, damn well, man, you're welcome here
I'm
anytime.
here for you, man. I'm here for you.
Carlos, we're going to do another show, man, because we can be here till tomorrow morning,
Hey, I'm down. I'll get some more Budweiser Zero for you, bro.
The only reason I say yes is because I want to watch you guys walking into the building.
You gotta get me in touch with your Dr. T guy.
Yeah, I got your Dr. T's, Daddy, Dr. T's. ¿Cómo le decía Carlos? ¿Cómo andaba Carlos? Do it again, Carlos. I mean, it's confidence, Carlos.
Oh my God, ILS.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was #PBT Tetera Tuesday, brought to you by the law office of Carlos A. Garcia. If you're injured in a serious accident, arrested on serious charges, you need an attorney that'll fight for you in court because serious cases require a serious lawyer. Call him at 956-584-1448, 956-584-1448, 24 hours a day, 24 horas al día, 7 días a la semana, 7 days a week. You can visit his website, thegarciafirm.com. He is board certified in criminal law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Muchas gracias, Carlos A. García, por patrocinando este programa con el gran Carlos Guzmán. Eso. Yeah. Vámonos.
Thank you.
Everybody wave at the camera.
Te encuentro hincada en el altar.
Yeah.
Y yo nunca lloré.
If you've been injured in a serious accident or you've been arrested on some serious charges, you need an attorney that's gonna fight for you. Carlos A. Garcia.
Obviously, if you're approached by a federal agency as it relates to an investigation, be it healthcare fraud, drug conspiracies, money laundering, bank fraud, any other federal crime, you want to remain silent. You want to talk to a lawyer who can give you real, honest advice.
Give them a call right away, 956-584-1448, because serious cases require a serious lawyer.
I'm Carlos A. Garcia, a criminal defense attorney in the Rio Grande Valley. I've been practicing criminal law for over 15 years. I'm board certified in criminal law and I can help you with every problem you may have.
Board certified in criminal law, attorney Carlos A. Garcia.